There's just enough going on with my driver that I can't swing free at it. That's kind of what you said, right? So, other than my sermon on the, how golf is, and let's embrace that a little bit more to get our mind playing golf a little freer, right? And say, okay, here's what's going to happen with some of my skill set. For the most part, I'm going to be okay, but there's going to be a couple that are going to get away from me. And how I react to that, and don't start tweaking and fixing, overreacting to a couple shots, because that's what we got to watch for. We got to keep an eye on. That's a good takeaway, don't you think? That's pretty much an on-plane. Like an on-plane move right there, didn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good right there.
Yeah. So what you're trying to do, you're doing a pretty good job of.
Something again, whirly birding or something at the top there, though.
Now, the club face is a little open. So if we look at that shaft, if we stop that shaft again at impact, we'll see what we're talking about here. This was a pretty good result. A little late rotation there, but you're going to catch up. Okay, so if we kind of put, there's our arm impact, right? You know what I'm going to do here, don't you? There's my arm setup.
Much higher at impact.
Yeah. So that's the typical, what we see here with, I got to get something fixed with that. I got to do squiggly lines here. Here's your spine angle. And here's where our butt line is. And we're going to see both of those change at impact along with our arms. Okay? So we're going to see a little bit of a more, the hips are moving towards the ball. So spine angle's still good there, hips are still good. So we've left the butt line. That means we're moving that way. Now I want to see that left butt cheek hitting that red line at some point in time. And now we can see here, by the time we get to impact, we'll see that you moved in towards the ball. And basically that means it's going to be a heel shot if your arms stay in the same plane. But no, you come up here to bring it back into a more of a toe hit to offset you moving in. You with me? So it's a matter of, if all the compensations are working, you're going to hit a damn good golf shot.
Yeah. A lot of hips there.
Well, but there's the hips looking at the ball. There's the arms up. Now, just to, and what we'll see is, it's not what good players do. It's not fair to compare us to them. But we look at different, this isn't a great camera angle, but let's give it a shot. We're going to see at impact, lost my straight line thing on two. I'm going to see a straight impact. Now you're going to see his left butt cheek at impact. He makes $10 million a year hitting a golf ball. He's pretty good, right? I'm going to see his arms come back to pretty close to where he started, and look at his left butt cheek. There's impact. His arms are pretty close to where they were, right? So if you look at we don't all just look at the swing plane by definition of pointing a line up the shaft. It's also the arm plane should swing on a nice circle too,
Yep.
instead of being out there. Well, the arms are kind of getting pushed up by the body, by your torso, by your hips. So rotation is, I know you know enough about this to know that the reason you come back to someone like me is it's maintenance and feedback about my habits. Right? There's nothing new, because you've been playing golf a long time. You're pretty repetitive in that. So let's take a look now at what we see with an iron comparative. And because of this motion here and the length of the club, being a little bit shorter, you're probably going to hit a little bit more on the toe with what we're seeing.
I suppose that would be true, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a little bit on the toe too. Well, it's just a question of the impact. We see the hips looking right at the ball, and we saw his left butt cheek there.
Over there, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what your swing DNA is, and in spite of that, it puts you in a top percentile of golf skill players at a 7 to 10 handicap. That's in a top percentile of an amateur golfer for your age. You got a good looking swing. Everyone goes, wow, you got a nice swing. And you're going, freaking ball's going all over the place.
Yeah, see that good.
But the motion is good, the athleticism is good. It's just these little stuff, the little geometric lines and angles. So the story is the same. So we kind of say, all right, what's a creative way of getting? Here this view is going to get us into our slide probably. What do you think?
I bet it will. Oh yeah.
So this exposes your thin is going to be you're getting ahead of the ball too much, sliding ahead of it, and then let's just look at this impact. I think we saw the club got a little early release there, don't we? How soon does the club pass the hands for an impact here? I'd like to see those hands at that red line or above, and you look again, as fair as it isn't, we look at those good players who have that. The club is not ever getting ahead of the hands at impact, is it?
No.
Hand keeps moving. So when the hand's back on the right leg and the club's at the ball, you got a little cast in you too. Well, that's just going to make the impact have a little bit more upswing on it, isn't it? There's thin.
Yeah.
So here we are. We can't be all things, but if we kind of break down each category with exaggerated fixes, I think that's a good way to go. I thought your takeaway looked better than last year, right? But there we go. We got arms are up. What's it feel like for the arms to be in here? It feels like it's over the top, Dan. It is. Let's try it, kind of thing. That little impact there, where you got a little cast here, and say, well, let's hit some knockdown approach lob wedges from 30 yards. Let's make your lob wedge go low. You got to have an impact like that. What's that feel like? I never felt that. you're not gonna have any problem hit that high,
Mhm.
typically, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes you bounce it into it. Hit the ground first, a little fat, gets high, lofted. So this is you. This is your DNA. You're going to be happy by coming down about a shot and a half per 9.
Mhm.
Put you in the happy zone, right?
Yeah.
So
I'd live with that.
yeah, we're not
For a
going to
while,
find
anyway.
we're not going to find all those in this technical part of your swing. There's going to be other
Yeah.
course management stuff. Geez, I don't get it up and down as much as I should. I tend to hit it on the toe.